Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to HCast episode 17. We've got loads of great topics today, predominantly, of course, Disney, the bubble bursting, how the mighty hath fallen or are falling. That's our predominant topic. We will be discussing Super Mario Brothers movie, looking like it's going to be a slam dunk, which I think most people thought it would be. In fairness, it's looking like it will do really well. We've got Superman Legacy. This first synopsis has been revealed. We also have Ben Affleck calling James Gunn a liar. Not interested. Not interested at all. Absolutely not. Direct quote in directing anything for James Gunn's DC. We've also got Return to Silent Hill casting news and updates, Gattaca reboot, and also a little director making a Frankenstein movie, Del Toro. So that's great. We've got loads to cover today. Seems to be some confusion by the time. Just as an FYI, time zones haven't changed in the UK yet. So I run this stream off my time zone and we haven't had daylight savings. We do in like 2 weeks. So then it will be going back to its original time. However, Thursdays are 2 hours earlier than Tuesday's stream because there are other people that stream later in the day. And I'm nice, and I don't want to make you choose because you wouldn't choose this over someone else.
I would have made them choose.
Nah. But also, just a bit of housekeeping, please, ladies and gents. If you want to support the channel, we've got memberships. And after this stream, we've got a one-to-one stream with moi, members-only stream. So you can only have access to that by being a member. So join, support the channel, be a member, and come and ask me just whatever question you want in a members only stream after this. Also, super chats, great way to support the channel. You get a free memberships. Actually, you get a free super chat once a month. Super chats, you just get to join in the topic. I was going to say you get a free super chat by doing a super chat. That's not how that works. It's not how that works at all. So don't do that. Please do check out the links in the description box to all of my illustrious guests here, which actually we're bringing someone on now who's just made it. It's Andre. How are you doing, good sir?
Greetings. I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Good. We've got Culture, Paulie from the Latino Slant, and we got Nick from Echo Base Network. So all links will be down below in the description box. How are we all doing today? Are we all good? How's everyone?
Doing good.
Oh, you've had coffee now, have you, Nick? Espressos?
Yeah. For anybody in the chat, I literally woke up about 10 minutes before the stream started.
Didn't need to tell him that. Didn't need to tell him. God
damn. Whereas,
I work nights, so
you're on the same time zone as me, or
almost. I'm 1 hour ahead of you.
Yeah, we haven't.
So I've had a long and busy day already.
Yeah, likewise, absolutely likewise. But our first topic of the day is you
didn't ask me how I was doing, so
I opened up to the floor. You can just speak. You're welcome.
Well, I was waiting for him because I'm feeling the indigenous side of me has been all week long feeling the tyranny of your white supremacist time zone superiority over me, and I just wanted to hear that.
Good.
And I'm fine. So.
Yeah, and I will say I do understand where Paulie is coming from, because on Midnight's Edge we adjust the live times to LA time, which is his time. So yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
there you go. So
now you suddenly notice the difference, don't you?
Andre's your bitch, basically. Paulie is what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm feeling less oppressed from Midnight's Edge. Yeah, absolutely.
But that balances it out then.
It's a little balanced
before somewhere, yeah.
Right. But I'm always in internal struggle because of my Spanish European side and my indigenous Mexican side. So but I'll learn to cope.
I'm just repping for your Spanish side, I guess.
Yeah. The Latinx side doesn't even acknowledge time.
No, that's too oppressive on any level for the Latinx side. Anyway, our first topic is essentially the mighty Disney on a huge decline.
Yeah.
Now, this has come to sort of fruition for many, many weeks, we've been talking about various bits and pieces, and it's all culminated here, I think. And this will be the first, it's the domino falling, and there'll be many. It's all a big row. The pyramid will fall now. We had Bob Iger coming back, doing investors calls, basically saying, yeah, no, we need to downsize, hiring freezes. I think they've laid people off as well, if I remember rightly. We then had viewership numbers going down. And now we start to see it in action. And that comes to us actually in the form of Willow being cancelled after one season. Now, I know this sounds like a weird segue, but this is true. This is the very first domino falling in a long line that you will see. This will be the first of many, I believe. And it's the culmination of everything that we've been reporting on for weeks. Andre? Do you agree?
I agree. This thing right here, there's so much to say about it. First and foremost, it is no wonder it is a surprise. Everyone that it is cancelled. There's no surprise that it's cancelled. Is what I meant to say. Sorry, it's been a long day. But anyway, no, because if you think back to when this thing here was on, everyone knew in advance it was going to be wokier than woke. Val Kilmer isn't in it. And even Warwick Davis. I mean, Warwick Davis, he's awesome. But look at him here. I mean, it doesn't even look right. He doesn't look like Willow. It looks like adult Warwick Davis cosplaying Willow. Like, so something is just like wrong with the whole mise-en-scene. They haven't been able to capture the look of the original. It just looks like this behind-the-scenes thing filmed with digital camera, drivel, bullcrap story, all woke. The moment the first episode was broadcast or published, everyone knew right away that this wasn't for the fans of the original. So obviously no one, or very few, watched it till the end. So the only one crying and begging for more were the crew working on it that ruined it in the first place. No one asked for it. It was horribly executed. So obviously it was going to fail. The bigger thing here is that it's more than the first domino falling. It's the latest in a long line of flops for Lucasfilm. Because think about it. How many properties does Lucasfilm have? They have Star Wars, which is down with a broken back right now. You have Indiana Jones, which will be down with a broken back upon the release of the new movie. And then you have Willow, which just had its first season cancelled. This is the ultimate failure of Kathleen Kennedy's leadership, because it happened on her watch. That's like my main takeaway from this. And of course, for Disney and for Bob Iger, it's just yet another nail in the coffin for Disney Plus. This is not what they wanted. They wanted Disney Plus to be like a Netflix rival. You're not going to be that with programming like this that gets cancelled after the first season. And this wasn't meant to be a one series thing. They wanted this to go for like 5, 6, 7 seasons out of this.
Hence me saying this is going to be hence this being the culmination of everything that we've been individually and also group reporting on for weeks. This was supposed to continue, and it's being shit canned because everything you've said, but then everything which I said as well with respect to the downsizing on output, having to shrink costs, and they're like, right, this is trimming the fat, the old phrase, trimming the fat. This is them trimming the fat, getting rid of it all, and basically it's an admissions of failure as well, huge admissions of failure. And I think, and I said this in my report, and no one corrected me, but I do actually think this is the very first thing which was made for Disney Plus, not the Disney Channel, but for Disney Plus. I think this is the first thing that's had one season, was meant to continue, that has been cancelled. I don't actually think there's anything else that has been cancelled after one season.
No, you're probably right, because the other things that only went for one season were only meant to have one season. Of course, they were probably hoping for another one, but they weren't planning on it. The only thing where they were planning on a second season that we know was Loki.
But they are getting a second season then.
Yeah, it is getting a second season.
Yeah. So this is huge deal. You know, that marking its first epic failure. And again, it is a downside. You know, this is the, you know, it's the mighty falling. You know, it's the giant toppling, as it were. Culture, you look like you want to chime in there, buddy.
Well, I would say that, yeah, I mean, on that side of things, Disney Plus is the first domino to fall. I agree with you 100%. I'm trying to remember whether or not we were supposed to get another What If season.
We are. It's coming.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because I hadn't seen anything on that recently. So
it's in development.
Okay. Let's do this. Would you be surprised, Andre, or anybody on this panel, if we see that get canceled? If we see subsequent seasons of something even as much, let's even suggest that maybe Mandalorian isn't being consumed in a large enough number for the cost, because that's like
a very expensive
show. And could you imagine that not getting a fourth season?
Well, now I can.
Yeah.
It's one. You know, this is the water breaking.
Yeah.
Right. The floodgates are going to open. This won't be the first and only. This will be the first of many. And anything is on the chopping block at this point. Anything will be on the chopping block. However, with respect to The Mandalorian, and what differentiates them is they knew Willow was a bust from the off, because when they released it, there was no merchandise off the back end of it either. And that's where, you know, that's where they bank a lot of their cash as well. That's how Disney makes a substantial amount of their money off of these properties, is merchandising. They don't license their stuff out. They obviously do, you know, merchandising in-house predominantly. License some stuff out, of course, but they had nothing on the Disney store for Willow. Nothing at all. No figures, literally nothing at all. And you're like, something's a bit wrong here, because they had stuff for normal Willow, but Willow sequel, nothing. So the difference is with The Mandalorian is that still generates a large portion of income from licensing and merchandising, because they do license stuff out as well, because you'll get, like, you know, there's the odd high street shop that was clearly bought a license to make some Grogu thing. You know, they still make a substantial amount of income from The Mandalorian outside of the viewership. Willow, though, they knew was dead. They knew it was defunct from the off, even though they still planned to do more, but they knew it was a dud. You know, they didn't do any merch for this stuff remotely. But it'll be interesting, because this is still the dam bursting. There'll be many more to follow, but it'll be interesting to see what comes next. I don't know if you have anything to add to the merchandising element there, Andre.
Well, it's not going well for them, is it? I mean, the entire merchandising empire that Disney very much so was built upon is kind of like imploded. I mean, even Grogu used to be like a hot seller, but now it's so bad that I would not be surprised if unsold Grogu toys are a big part of the collapse of those stupid things, like the not bubbleheads, like the mini thing. The hell are they called again? Like the
Funko Pop.
Funko Pops. Yes, thank you, Paulie.
Yeah, that is true. That is very, very true.
Well, they've been suffering with merchandise declines for quite some period of time. But more on the theater properties that,
Marvel, and Star Wars products, they're forever in the bargain bin.
Yeah, but
the toys are.
This has been a property that's been beloved by a specific audience for a long period of time, and they deviated so wildly from source that they could not engage those people. And I believe they knew that this was going to happen, and they went looking for the imaginary audience that has never materialized. And at the same time, they're literally driving away people from their products. And I mean, they're everything, including T-shirts and lightsabers and coffee mugs, and
that's a question I was going to ask, because I know they exist as far as the OG Willow fans.
Yeah.
Was in your circles, maybe in the chat too as well, was there any hype? Was there any connection? Was there any anticipation? Did they reach out to, like, Willow fan sites? I don't know what, for that show.
No, this show is the definition of who asked for this. It's
I was about to say,
who asked for this.
Which Willow fan sites would that be?
No, I don't know. Listen, I barely remembered the first movie. I know it was good, some cool stuff. I didn't see this at all. I had no desire to see this at all. So I'm just curious, because if they had that targeted audience that they could rely on, the OG Willow fans, maybe they didn't connect with them because they knew that they wouldn't like what they were going to see.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that's true.
But then again, Paul, you're targeting an audience which has proven time and time again not to exist. They've never materialized.
No, I'm totally with you. I'm talking about, what they tried to do with Amazon and Rings of Power is that they tried to create a new audience, right? To love the Rings of Power. And so what did they do? They brought on influencers and did that whole circus. And you know how the true Tolkien fans reacted to that.
Super fans, right?
They were super fans, influencers.
That was so funny.
They even called themselves the Fellowship of Influencers. I mean, that's a great way to show everyone what a legitimate fan you are. And I do believe that half of them still haven't seen it, and like follow-up questions and everything.
Well, also too, Andre, I think one of them did see it and didn't like it.
Not surprised.
Yeah.
I don't know how you could cheer for that show one way or another, but I foresee what you're predicting, Nate. I think we're going to see show after show after show. It was maybe 4 or 5 of the shows they've announced for Disney Plus get canceled. Like the stuff that hasn't started shooting, the stuff that isn't too far along the production side of things. I can't anticipate them going forward with this. I keep mentioning this, and it keeps being true. They've spent $50 billion here, and they've got very little to show for it, if anything at all.
Yeah.
And Disney Plus is kind of this really strange boondoggle that is maybe the best example of wasting, desperately needed capital. In pursuit of a market that isn't there. I mean, the reason Netflix was successful was because it was fed by all these other entities, and the reason that they were able to accumulate extra revenue was because of Netflix, and it was a wonderful symbiotic relationship that all of these streaming services destroyed, which is why they're all turning backwards. They're following Zaslav's lead, and they're pursuing
rid of IPs, selling off.
Yeah, well, at least licensing them out, distributing their video content to other services, and so on and so forth. And that's going to be the model. And Iger had to come out in order to fend off Peltz and do exactly that. I anticipate that the stockholders meeting. What do you think, Andre? You think it's going to be a show?
Oh yeah, I look forward to this one. I think this one is going to be great fun with Ant-Man flopping, with Willow being cancelled,
subpoenaing Reddit.
Yeah, with the subpoenaing Reddit, and with the rumors of production trouble on the Marvels,
the Lucasfilm lawsuit over the
the Lucasfilm lawsuit for the Acolyte.
The Mandalorian ratings.
The Mandalorian.
Mandalorian viewership.
The one thing that they could rely on the last couple of years.
Yeah.
It literally is the last bastion of.
It's the only hope. We're talking about the only hope, new hope.
Help me, Mandalorian. You're my only hope.
That's true.
It's true.
Yeah.
Oh, he nailed it. It's 100% true. I mean, here's the weird thing, right? For the first time, I saw something I was interested in Mando's 3. Are we going to talk about this or no?
Later.
Then I'll be quiet.
I have not seen Mando. I just have to Right, I have nothing to
You did
prove.
not miss much.
Nick,
yeah.
Nick, you've not been speaking much about this whole topic. What do you think
Yeah,
about
I'm not surprised at all on this Willow thing. Again, like you were saying earlier, who asked for this show? And then their creative decisions with the wokeness and representation and all that, like even like so when they announced it, I liked the original movie and I was like, oh, they're doing a Willow show. I was like, cool, like I definitely want to watch this. And then as soon as I found out what they were doing and what they were injected into it, I was out. I wasn't watching it, and there's a lot of other fans that were in the same boat. And you know, I did hear something about the show, and I pulled up an episode just to watch the end credits. And literally, has anyone here actually seen or watched any of the episodes or shows
Of Willow?
Of Willow?
I got through the majority of the first episode, I think.
Wow.
Okay, so but you didn't get to the end of it.
Hell no.
Okay.
No.
All right. So at the end of these episodes of a Willow show, which is a medieval times, fantasy-esque show, they have renditions of rock music like Metallica, and all the, and I'm like, what the hell is this playing over the credits? Like somebody said something. I saw somebody comment like, why are they playing Metallica at the end of this episode? I'm like,
So
surely they're joking. And I pulled it up on Disney Plus, and sure enough, it was like a rendition to like Enter Sandman or something. And I'm just like, oh god,
that's so bizarre.
So I mean,
to that show, right?
Yeah,
to Willow.
Yeah, to Willow.
Yeah.
In every single episode of Willow, at the end credits, it would be a new rendition of a modern day rock song.
What does that have to do with the show? Like,
Nothing.
What a weird creative choice.
Absolutely nothing.
Let me do this because I didn't see the show. Did it kind of filtered itself to look like some sort of like look and feel of a Western, but in Willow Land or something?
No.
But Andre could probably direct it more directly, but I believe again, the aesthetic did not land because it was not consistent with the film. It's the same,
not in the slightest.
Yeah, it would be the same complaints that I think a lot of us had with the Rings of Power. Is that, and again, consider how many generic fantasy shows were airing at the same time.
Yeah.
You had the blood orange thing, and I say it that way, not blood orange. You had all of these shows competing with each other, and they were all trash. But I think honestly, when you disconnect from the audience because you can't land the aesthetic, I think it really harms your property right from the get go. So
it's the full audio visual thing with the Metallica thing in there, and I will say one more thing about that, because it all comes back to the question, all of these things, who is this made for? Because the past decade, we have basically seen like new iterations of Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, Willow, The Lord of the Rings, and they seem to go out of their way to alienate the built-in audience and instead try to hook in a new, younger, hipper, more diverse audience before. Basically, they follow the mentality of if you make it, they will come. We make it for a new audience we imagine exist, and then that audience will spring into existence. So here, but this is the thing that kind of like defies belief, because then what kind of audience is interested in a new woke version of a property they previously did not care about? And these people who would be interested in something like that, they're going to have a nervous breakdown from listening to Metallica. So why put Metallica in their show? They're not going to like that.
Yeah, it's so bizarre. Creative choices on these things are so bizarre. But that just that as an example alone perfectly encapsulates, the downfall of Disney in general. The creative choices are just so fucked.
Yeah,
just across the board, that's so bizarre.
And like I've said in the past and stuff, it just shows a total disconnect from the people creating these things to the fan base out there. And the thing is also the show, the Willow show, ended on a cliffhanger. Like going,
they planned to make more.
Yeah, going into a season 2, it literally leaves on a cliffhanger to where it's like, oh man, what's gonna happen next? And now nobody's gonna ever know whatever happens because nobody gave a shit about their woke modern day crap show. And it's a tragedy.
To be fair, I don't think that anyone even knew it ended on a cliffhanger because all of 20 people managed to stick there until the final episode.
Yeah.
I think everyone else checked out before. So I think they all decided that, it's probably not worth the expense to see this story through. But you can see all the creatives. They were desperate for a season 2. And they thought that ending it on a cliffhanger, that's going to guarantee an ending. I love it when they do that, when they end on a cliffhanger. Like one of my favorite examples there is our good friend Mike, the Mexican Iron Man's favorite. You know how Alf, the series, was ended? Yeah. That also ended on a cliffhanger. The cliffhanger is that Alf is caught by the American authorities, taken away to be dissected and, vivisected, basically. And thus ended Alf.
Oh dear.
That's his favorite TV show?
No, it's his least favorite.
Yeah.
Oh, I was
but I do think
news.
you would appreciate that final episode.
Right.
The thing is now when you see a lot of these shows that are supposed to be fantasy, in particular Willow, even in the clips, right? You have very modern language used, and it's very stilted.
Oh yeah.
And I think a lot of that comes out of the fact that they have to do a lot of exposition. You know, they talk about things, but they don't show things. And I think it really and again, this is like movie making or TV making 101. You don't do that, and that's what all of these suffer from. It's because of the writing. I mean, I think it was Paulie or probably Andre or somebody that's not me that said that. It's the writing that's killing these things. So.
But it's also the creative choices from the off. The show never should have been made anyway, right?
Yeah.
Like this is a show that was literally for no one, and that shows just in its general response. Mm-hmm. But we do have some super chats here that dropped in. So if you want to join in, you want to support the show, at the end of each segment, we will take your super chats. We will navigate the conversation your way. You steer the conversation at the end of these segments. Join in, talk about what we've just talked about, or ask whatever you want, or just contribute. It's a good way to support the channel. Also, memberships, ladies and gents. We've got 400 people here. Please do join the channel, become a member. After the Thursday stream, there is a chilled members-only stream where it's just me and you guys, and you'll find it all linked in the community tab under a memberships-only thing. So join the channel. It's a good way to support. But we had Pilgram Media says, for $2, says, "Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Disney down and out." And yeah, I mean, this perfectly signifies everything we've been talking about, everything we've been discussing this entire time for weeks and weeks and weeks. You know, we've spoken about Marvel going downhill. We've spoken about, Bob Iger coming back and reaping the fruits of his labor. By that, I mean, reaping what he sowed, not actually the fruits. And this is just the first of many. There will be more. Mark my words. This won't be it. There will be more. There has to be. Al Humphreys dropped in with a £5 super sticker. Thank you so much, good sir. Thank you for joining and contributing to the channel. It means a lot. Thank you. We also had, let me just scroll down. Tom Working for $5 says, "Willow was a CGI test of a film when it came out for ILM, Morphing. It might be a test now, seeing if nostalgia can hit." Well, so that's interesting. I doubt that wouldn't have been a test. This is Lucasfilm, in my humble opinion, this is Lucasfilm just trying to mine their IPs, but not realizing that their audience was so small and, disenfranchising said audience with, modern day agenda nonsense will put that tiny audience off in general. I don't think this would be a test. because there's other things that they've made, which I guess you could say is nostalgia. I mean, all of the Star Wars stuff, there's Obi-Wan Kenobi, literally everything. All of that's nostalgia, you know? So I wouldn't say that anything else to add to that. I wouldn't say this was a nostalgia.
That would have been a
test.
mighty expensive test. No. The test is typically that you do a focus group. And after you've done a focus group, so you are as sure as you reasonably can be that there actually is a market for this. And the 100 million or whatever you put into this is going to be worth it, because the growth in the overall Disney Plus package will be worth that 100 million that you put into it, unless they have made that risk benefit ratio analysis in advance. There's no point in doing this, and they needed to do the test before. I mean, this is not a test. This is the end product after they have done the tests, or at least they should have done the test, but clearly they didn't, because they unleashed something on the world that no one wanted.
It's so incredibly unlikely this would be a test. And again, if it is, as you say, what an expensive test. An absolute waste of cash. Right down the drain.
They're wasting hundreds of millions of dollars on these Disney Plus shows. It just blows my mind every year. I'm
again,
how are you
they've
doing
realized that now, though, because they have to downsize, and they're deciding that they're going to sell IPs, license off IPs. So again, how the mighty have fallen. They were doing it, and now they're like, shit, we actually can't do this. We must downsize.
Yeah, they can join the club. Everyone is downsizing now. So they're like in good companies. Like 10,000 people are losing their jobs in the world every single day now, which is
crazy,
dreadful.
Absolutely crazy.
Yeah. But of course, if like some wokies in Disney should lose their jobs, then I'll feel less sorry for them than for many others. But anyway, moving on.
Pilgram Media for $2 says, is Nelson Peltz reloading his pistola? Is this a reference that I'm not getting?
No. He's referring to Nelson Peltz. That would be the activist investor from the Triand Fund Management Group, the one who bought $1 billion worth of shares in Disney Plus, and who threatened to force his way onto the board to change the direction of Disney. And here's the thing, Pilgrim, you are entirely right. That could happen. In fact, I would be surprised if it didn't happen, because for the last investor meeting, what happened was that the media reported that Peltz had backed down Victory Iger. No, not at all. The only reason he backed down is because Iger gave him everything he wanted in the short term. And in the official statement, Peltz even said something along the lines of, we're very happy to see that under Iger, the Disney board has chosen to do this, and this, which is exactly what we wanted in the short term. So now there's no need for us to continue forcing our way onto the board. So we back down for now, but we'll be watching. They didn't use those exact words, but that was literally the message. We're still here. We still have $1 billion. And the moment you step out of line, the proxy fight is back on. And maybe we'll ask for Iger's head the next time. And really, they should. Because if they thought things were bad under Chapek, they're 1 million times worse right now. And these are all Iger policies that have come home to roost.
Yeah, this is what I keep saying. No one, because when Iger came back, people were like, "Yeah, Chapek's gone. Iger's going to." I'm like, "What? Do you pay attention to half the stuff you say? Like, you've been reporting for years that Iger's terrible and is introducing all these things. Like this is the timeline, the pipeline of work. Everything that came out under Chapek was established with Iger. So, like, you can't sit there and be like, Iger's going to save everyone. Yeah, only if he does a complete 180 on everything he set up initially, which he's not going to do.
The irony is
that he even said he wasn't going to do it.
We only know for certain one project that was greenlit personally by Bob Chapek, and that is Deadpool 3, which would be one of the 2 Marvel projects there are actual excitement. There is genuine
Yeah.
excitement for going forward. And other
Yeah,
than
yeah.
those two, who knows how anything else is going to work? Like on Midnight's Edge yesterday, we went through the lineup of the new Avengers teams.
Yeah.
And if anyone thinks that those movies are going to be good or bring audiences back or bring hope back to proceedings, they have another thing coming.
Yeah.
I mean, that coverage was epic. That coverage of the new Avengers, what you guys did, is gonna be way more entertaining than when that thing comes out.
Oh, I can't wait to review the final movie with you, Paulie, with the return of Namor. And his
he's coming back.
Oh yeah, he's part of the new Avengers.
No, your audio you dropped out for a second.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Al Humphreys dropped in with a £5 super sticker. Says Star Wars: A No Hope. Yep, absolutely. At this point in time,
Fading.
At this point,
yeah, I just want to. We've got a few
get
more.
through it. No, do what you gotta do, man.
Mr. Tickle Trunks for $2 Says no more fantasy shows where people say cool. Did they say cool in Willow?
They used, again, I'm going to say it's not the only show doing it. You got all this modern language in these fantasy shows. There's no place for it, and again, very dialogue. Heavy on go ahead, Paul. Go ahead.
Thank you. It's not even. Yeah, it's seeped into every remake, reboot, whatever prequel. I don't know what. Where the singing style of Grease and of the 50s has been totally commandeered by the singing style of now, and you saw it in that one trailer, and I was like, people don't, especially high school kids, they're just discovering rock and roll, just that type of singing, there is none of that type of singing in modern singing, which is right now to me not really singing. The singers of that time, the kids at that time were going away from. Anyways, my point is,
keep it in time zone. Keep it in.
The point is that this it's not just fantasy. It's just with any reboot with everything. It's just this new Grease TV show that's coming down the pipeline. Why do you have it in the 50s? It's not. You might as well just have it now.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, it goes to show writers in Hollywood are bereft of. Well, they don't have talent. Basically, there's dialogue by Hollywood writers is awful these days. It has been for a little while now. Mexican Iron Man dropped in with $4.99. Says the ending of the Alf series is the greatest, most righteous, and justified ending in the history of broadcast television. Alf fajitas. Oh my god, that's hilarious. We've got a brand new member, Jermaine Comics. Thank you so much. You've joined at supporter level 0.5. I don't know why I did 0.5, but anyway, thank you so much. Guys, you want to join the channel, support the channel, you do get benefits. Like after this stream, we'll be doing a chilled members only stream. So join. You can only access it if you're a member. We've got 400 people here. Do we have 400 likes? Yay or no?
Dope.
Smash that thumbs up button. Timothy Fitzgerald for $2 says John Kasdan is a massive failure. Solo, now Willow. But the thing is, they fail up in Lucasfilm. Again, as you say, Solo and Willow. You did Solo. Kathleen Kennedy as well.
Yeah.
Damn.
So they just fail up. They don't give a fuck. Tom working for $5 says Disney with Touchstone, Euro Disney, etc. has had a history of throwing caution to the wind. Lucasfilm was shrewd under Lucas, as it should be. There should be an air of taking risks, but you are right. You still have to. You have to mitigate the risks. Don't invest so much money in it. So you are completely right. Culture, you've just told me we've only got 190 likes. Not even half, guys.
Come on.
Hit that thumbs up button. Come on, we can do that. We've got just a few more super chats just to get to, and we'll move on to our next topic. Mr. Esquire dropping in with the big buckaroos. $20. Thank you so much, says Paul. It's not Grease, it's Glee. Yeah. It basically is, isn't it? It's Glee cosplaying as a Grease sequel.
I mean, Frankie Valli would be just crapping in his one of the greatest doo-wop singers of all time, right? The Four Seasons, Frankie Valli, and he created that song for Grease the film, and then they make it into this kind of Ariana Grande, like,
Totally.
I was just furious, man. My musical theater background was like.
You like that it has a sound all its own, that period of time. It's very bright, it's very brusque, it's it's very punctuated.
We should do a separate Grease stream.
You probably should.
Let's do that.
Because I will tear that shit up.
There you go.
Pilgrim Media for $2 says the cringe dialogue and writing is just a symptom. Absolutely.
True.
Larry says 5 gifted. Did someone just gift
and I threw it in the private
as well?
Wow,
thank you so much. Did you?
Yeah, right above the.
Oh, you did. Yeah. Sorry, Larry Quadro has gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much, man. So 5 lucky people get your membership for free. You can join in. Join in the members only stream. We've got one more super chat, and then we'll shuffle on to our next topic. It says Tom working for $5. If you have contemporary music and a medieval fantasy, is that anachronistic? I don't even know what that bloody word means.
I should say so. Well, it means that it doesn't fit in, that it breaks the illusion.
Belonging to a period of... Yeah, of course it is, yeah.
Well, I mean...
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's the same as the dialogue, actually.
But, I mean, it's been done before. I mean, people mentioned it, Knight's Tale and stuff like that.
But there's a way to do it,
right,
yeah.
And that was like a comedy.
Exactly.
A
Knight's Tale was a comedy. Thank you, Nick, for hitting on that point. It doesn't count because it was a satire to begin with.
Yeah, exactly.
I still liked it.
It was fun. I'm not saying otherwise. But Knights of the Round Table was much more fun, and so was Life of Brian. And none of them have had any such apart from the spaceship and stuff. But anyway, point is, none of them had like modern music or anything.
Yeah. Shane White, we've only got 235 likes. Guys, hit that thumbs up button. Thank you so much. If you could, that'd be great. So, ladies and gents, we're going to shuffle on to our next topic now, which is not a surprise that this was going to happen, but Super Mario Bros. Movie to score at least 85 to 90 million plus 5-day, but is bound to mushroom early box office outlook. This movie will be gigantic. This will be a huge movie, I think.
This will be the biggest movie of the year.
Oh, that's a big prediction. Really? Come on now, Andre. I was going to go on, but I'm going to give you the floor. What do you think then?
I think this movie here is going to surprise us all. I think this movie, because all the kids are going to see this movie. Don't underestimate how
that's on the conservative
Super Mario is with all the kids. And they're going to be taking their parents, and they're going to want to be taken again and again. And even people that don't have any kids are going to want to see it because it may be getting good reviews. It has Chris Pratt. That's going to turn some people off, but those people will have to go anyway for all the other reasons. But that's going to bring in some people that maybe otherwise wouldn't be going. So unless this movie is absolutely terrible in its own right, I think this movie has a really decent shot of being the biggest movie of the year for 2 reasons. One, all the things working for it. The other is, ain't nothing that can compete with it. At least not that I can see. Unless Mission Impossible later comes and pulls a Top Gun Maverick, which I have a hard time seeing, then I don't see much else that could challenge this for the biggest movie of the year. I think this is going to fly past $1 billion, and I don't see too much else this year that has a chance to do that.
Well, one person disagrees with you. So I do read the chit chat as we're going through this. Vespertilio review says, no, The Flash will be because of Keaton. Sorry, screw Mario. I've got to respectfully disagree. Michael Keaton is not as big of a draw as Super Mario. Not in any way, shape, or form. No way. Like Michael Keaton, just for argument's sake, The pick is currently strong with boys and girls under 12 equally. So that's huge for families. Boys and girls under 12-year-olds love the look of Super Mario. However, it's also strong with the gamer sect of guys under 25. That is your huge consumer base right there.
That's your repeat
Michael
use
Keaton,
right there.
Under 12, no one fucking knows who Michael Keaton is, mate. Sorry, not going to lie.
And then you got the diehard Mario fans.
Who Michael Keaton is.
They go all the way back to the 80s.
Yeah. So, no, Michael Keaton, unfortunately, I disagree that, the Flash will take no. Like, the Flash will do well, but it's not going to be the biggest movie of the year. 100% it will not be the biggest movie of the year.
And also, I just have to highlight that Culture Casino is playing his Nintendo Switch right there. That Nintendo Switch, that has done so much for Mario's popularity. I mean, that whole console looked like a dud when it came out, but it has only grown and grown and grown in the years since, when every other console of its generation grew stale and got replaced. The Nintendo Switch just kept on growing. And that thing right there, and especially Super Mario Kart 8 on it, that has caused Super Mario to skyrocket.
But also keep it popular with everyone now currently.
Yes.
That's the thing, right? Michael Keaton, if you compare it, like, just for argument's sake, I'm not trying to rag on your comment at all.
No.
But it's topical, because if we're saying that The Flash is going to be the biggest movie of the year versus Super Mario Bros., you've got to remember what's the draw of The Flash. It's not Michael Keaton's the draw of The Flash for us, for our generation, not children. Children will be looking at him going, "Hey, he looks like a prune. He's an old guy." To a child, right? That's what they will think when they look at him. They're not going to have the nostalgia at all. They don't have that connection. The only way I would disagree with Andre in terms of Super Mario Bros. Being the biggest movie of the year is with the Mission Impossible films, because you're on the back end of Top Gun Maverick, and because Tom Cruise's stardom is so strong at the moment. I think there will be people that will be looking to go to Mission Impossible that maybe weren't looking to go before. But that's the only way I could see that Mission Impossible would beat out Mario. Outside of that, I think you do have you've got a good chance of Super Mario being the biggest movie of the year.
I think so too. I mean, it's between those two, unless there is some dark horse candidate to come out.
What else is out there this year?
I don't think there's anything kid-friendly, not like those.
That seismic, right?
Mission Impossible. This is the only thing. Well, yeah, that's not for kids, but I look. The reason that I believe that not only will Super Mario Brothers be the biggest movie of the year, unless for whatever reason Mission Impossible can compete with it, which Andre and I are going to disagree on that. That's fine, because I think it's going to be huge. But it's a 4-quadrant film. You don't have.
Yes, yeah, that's right. You're completely right.
Yeah, and look, I love Keaton, so don't get me wrong. I mean, I want to see Keaton. It's the only reason I'm going to see The Flash. This is, hand to God.
But that's a perfect example of what I mean, isn't it? Keaton's the only draw for our generation, predominantly, right? You start going younger and younger. They're like, who? Michael, who? What?
Yeah, I mean, absent what I've heard is that there's going to be so much of him in that film. If I had not heard that he would be a presence in the film, and he just had merely a cameo, I would not see the film, because I dislike what's been going on in the background so much. Because I'm plugged into a lot of stuff, and much like the Aquaman film, which I have no interest in at the end of the year. It's completely driven by the people and personalities and everything else surrounding them that have been going on. I mean, you can't forgive that. So
no.
Yeah, and somebody else in the chat just brought up a good point, saying also Mario is global.
It is.
The Flash is not as global as Mario.
Yeah, you're completely right. Who is Ezra Miller?
Well, not Ezra Miller, but the Flash.
No, I know,
and Batman.
Well, I will say they know
Flash
Ezra
is
Miller
pretty
in
good.
Hawaii. They know him in Iceland. He's not going to draw
Yeah.
a crowd in any of those places.
That's hilarious. But no, you know what haven't we? What title have we not even brought up?
We don't know what.
Indiana Jones.
No, that won't do a billion.
It's gonna suck rocks. I'm worried about the box office for that, Paulie. I mean,
That won't do
that's
a billion.
I'm not worried.
You're fine with it failing.
I mean,
I
Hey,
see
you
where
make a shit
Paul is
movie,
coming
it's
from.
gonna fail, and it
at
deserves
this
it.
point, let's look at KK's resume. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I kind of I'm conflicted because who doesn't love Harrison Ford and Indiana Jones?
Best
Yeah,
case
he's got paid
scenario,
anyway. It doesn't matter. He'll get
that
paid.
movie is going to do okay. The best we can possibly hope for is that movie is going to be better than we hope, and or that we that'll be as good as we hope, and it won't be anywhere near what we fear it's going to be, and that it will give Harrison Ford a respectful farewell to the franchise. That's kind
I
of
hope
what
so.
we hope for. If that
I hope so.
succeeds, but still.
Right.
Have to keep this in mind, exactly what Nate said about generations and everything. Kids today, they don't connect with Michael Keaton as Batman, and I don't know how many kids, people under 20, care that much about Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones, or hell, Indiana Jones in general, unless that was something that was passed to them by their parents, who would be our age, like the age of between us panelists right here, unless they have the parents like us who would have them grow up with Indiana Jones, so they have that childhood nostalgia.
No.
Why will
I'm
new
with
audiences go
Yeah.
see this movie about the final exit of an old man they don't care anything about?
I'm totally with you on Indiana Jones. I do think, and I do see kids, little ones, still wearing the Batman T-shirts. Doesn't really matter.
Batman's universal, absolutely.
I was just going to say, it doesn't really matter who the Batman is right now. So I think you're going to see a lot of families going, which is kind of crazy. You're going to see a lot of families going to see the Flash, and I really feel strongly about this, just because with the breakdown of people that went to go see Scream this past weekend were a large percentage of Latino families. I mean, it was crazy. I see that happening for the Flash. I honestly do, because of the Flash and the Batman merchandise.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how Mario sort of spans out.
Oh,
we've
they're
got
going to
our
be all
hot
over
predictions. Well, we've got our hot predictions. Biggest movie of the year. We'll obviously wrap it up, as it comes out, and see how that goes. We've got some super chats joining in here. So we've got Paulus Plane Part 1, free PR move with Grogu in SpaceX Crew 1 flight as the team's zero gravity indicator. Baby Yoda plush on live stream to International Space Station. I like that. That's a good idea. Yeah, but people should start doing this more. Oh, we got more. Part 2. Crew Dragon Resilience, Dragon C207, capsule mission duration 167 days, 6 hours and 29 minutes, launch date 16th November, and docking date. I don't know what this is.
That's Pyrus, as always, informing us about the data and facts about earlier missions in history.
Thank you very much. Mr. Esquire for $20 says, Andre with a hot take. As long as the movie is decent, it may have legs and stay in theaters for a while. Bigger than Sonic for sure. 100% it'll be bigger than Sonic.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's got a much more wider, broader appeal. I think, and that's not to say Sonic's not broad or appealing. I just think Mario has permeated pop culture to such a degree that it has a wider appeal.
Yeah, I mean, there was a brand survey done that long ago between Mario and Mickey, and globally, if I remember correctly, Nintendo's Mario finished several places above Mickey Mouse, which would be surprising if you didn't notice just how much Nintendo has permeated the global culture, the global zeitgeist.
Yeah, massively.
What in the article I have to ask, Where did they place this? Finishing domestically in globally?
Literally just opening weekend, $90 million plus
Oh,
but
that's
conservative side.
Yeah,
I think it'll crush that.
I think it's gonna. I think it'll easily hit 110 million opening weekend. It's a 4-quadrant film, and then if it's good, and word of mouth is good, it'll have so much. It'll have legs for days. I mean, legs for weeks. It'll go and go and go. I mean, it'll do what Top Gun.
Yeah. 100%. Magitech Mags for $5 says Mario is facing Mission Impossible, Dune, and Guardians 3, all viable competitors this year. Mission Impossible will edge everyone else out, in my opinion. Guardians 3, I don't think it's as viable as a competitor as you think. I agree to a certain degree, but I don't, because I think Mario appeals to a much younger audience and is more accessible. Dune is not a viable competitor.
No,
it's just not. It's not a 4-quadrant movie.
It
doesn't appeal to children. It is niche. It's great, but that's not a competitor. Mission Impossible is a competitor because
that is,
as someone else reported, Timothy says Mission Impossible 6 did 791 million and was a huge hit with critics and fans. Cruise has only gotten bigger since. Dead Reckoning will do like 1.1. And this is what I think is because of Tom Cruise's stardom.
Yeah.
As it's grown, I think that is what will pull people in off the back end of Top Gun Maverick. We also have a super chat from Zack Attack for $4.99. Says, which do you think will be the bigger movie, Super Mario or Spider-Verse 2? Super Mario.
Super Mario for sure.
100%. I don't know how much.
Layup.
What did Spider-Verse do? It didn't do very well. It did all right. What did it do?
Oh, it actually performed less than you think it did. Let me grab the thing, but yeah, it wasn't.
I'll just grab another super chat while you do that.
Yeah,
John.
Yeah, no, I just want to say really that Into the Spider-Verse, it did really well with critics and reviewers. Many loved that movie, but it didn't do that well in theaters.
No, our global box office to support that is only 375 million worldwide.
Oh wow, that's terrible.
Yeah, I mean,
that'd be good for profit, but that's still terrible.
No, indeed. It started off well. It had a great per theater average. It opened to a $35 million weekend. But if it stays in that same ballpark, it beat expectations, which were very low for it. But if it stays in that ballpark this time, even with the 40% difference in ticket prices, the adjustment, it's really gonna have to get somewhere near 700 million to stay in the same ballpark, and that's insane.
That's ridiculous. I think it will do better than it did last time because it would have rose to prominence on streaming services like Netflix, for instance. So it's had more eyes on it than. So yeah, the sequel will do well because of that. Yeah. John Apocalypse for £2 says, how would Flash do if it had Bale Batman instead? I don't think it would make a big difference. I don't think people have a particularly strong. Kids don't care who's playing Batman specifically, so I don't think that would make a big difference. I also don't think if you're selling the Flash movie because of a Batman, or you're selling the Flash movie with a Batman, that's not particularly great either. That shows that you don't have faith in your own star, but we know that. So
yeah, all that's mainly us nerds that care about that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's us within this sort of nerds. You are completely right. Mr. Tickle Trunks for $5.50 says Mario is global and woven into Eastern and Western world's DNA. Yep. Some waited 40+ years for a proper Mario movie. In this film climate, it'll be dynamite.
That's right.
Yes, 100% agree. I do agree. It'll blow up. It'll absolutely blow up. Last super chat before we move on to our next topic. Wallace Franks for £5 says, with all this superhero fatigue, how about a Death's Head movie? I'd go and watch that. Thoughts?
I'd probably go see it.
Yeah.
And Appian followed up.
Oh, yeah. Thoughts on a Zelda movie, casting choices?
I would love to see a Zelda movie.
Me too.
Zelda movie would be cool.
Doing the same animation as this Mario movie.
Oh, it would be great.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
I'd like a Zelda movie. Ocarina of Time. Love a bit of Ocarina.
Oh, that'd be really good.
Majora's Mask. That was good. So good.
Well, I'm sorry. I
don't know casting though.
I really I really enjoyed Breath of the Wild.
Oh, you heathen!
I loved it though. It was super
Kidding
fun.
around. Kidding around. Yeah, I don't know.
Coming out next month. The new game's coming.
I liked it
I know, I'm
also.
kidding.
I still haven't
I'm
beaten it. All I got to do is go fight Ganon, but
who would you have? Who would you have casting though?
ugh, I was
Voice
just sitting here
actors
thinking about
for
that.
CG.
Let's see.
Who would play Zelda? Who would play Zelda?
It's just voice work.
I reckon Emilia Clarke could do a good Zelda, Princess Zelda.
Oh, she could. She really could. That
Yeah.
would be lovely.
So that sort of light,
Yeah, that light voice.
refined,
Yeah.
enunciates. I think that could be quite good.
And I think she has the right accent for it.
Perfect.
Yeah, precisely.
So,
What
yeah.
about who else? Doesn't matter who plays Link. So
There's not a lot of dialogue there.
no.
Hmm.
Come on. God,
This is hard.
I
This
can't
is
be
a-
the only one
Yeah.
making fucking casting choices. Come on, guys. Pull your fingers out.
Aquafina is Zelda. No. Channel Starface. No.
God, no. Anna de Armas for Zelda? No. I don't like that. Not gonna lie, I don't like that. Ron Perlman as Ganon? No. No. I don't like that either.
Samuel.
It does need to be a rich voice. So Samuel L. Jackson would be a good choice, or
Yeah.
Lawrence Fishburne, or somebody with a deep
Or
rich.
Lawrence Fishburne, I think would be quite good.
He's got that.
Can you imagine him doing his like John Wick laugh, but as Ganon? That'd be
Oh, it'd be
good.
great. It'd be
Yeah.
great. It needs to be that rich.
Yeah.
Or hell,
Or
James Earl
Colin
Jones.
Salmon.
If James could do it, that would be extraordinary.
Mm.
Uh,
Yeah, I like that. Also, Finbar White has been a member for 25 months. Wow, holy shit. Thank you so much. So as a member of the channel, you do get a free super chat every month, basically. So please do join the members. In fact, after this stream, we've got a members only stream. So please do join the membership. It says, hey, Mr. H, everyone, will John Wick 4 make over $1 billion? Would Keanu Constantine 2 help Marvel? Well, that it was going to help DC. So no, John Wick won't make John Wick 4 will not make over $1 billion. Those films, much like Spider-Verse, have not actually done as good as you guys think
But
in
no,
terms of the profit. Well, they've done good profit. Sorry, let me rephrase. They've done very good profit, but the numbers are not as huge as you think to generate the good profit. Put it that way.
yeah. John
no,
Wick 4
I don't
do well for sure.
Yeah, I don't think it'll
Not
get
that
anywhere
well.
close to $1 billion. I think you'd be lucky for it to hit 500-600 million, basically.
I think it'll do a little better than that. But yeah, you're right. I
Really?
mean,
Because they haven't done that well.
no, but I mean, as a mechanic, if you apply if you apply what has been happening, like
There's
for
inflation
example,
as well, actually, isn't there? Sorry. Yeah.
exactly, yeah. I mean,
And the variable.
Parabellum, which was a decent enough film, that one did a global box office of 327. So I'm putting this one right in.
Realistic then.
Yeah,
sure,
yeah. I'm putting it closer to 700 all in global, but and again, that's very much because of the math behind it, not for any other reason. Although if it retains the same audience numbers, it could exceed that. So it'll do quite well. Yeah.
Who owns Mario Brothers and who owns John Wick?
John Wick is Lionsgate. Mario Brothers is Nintendo. They own that outright. So, but
Yeah,
they've licensed it to Universal.
The movie rights. That's Universal, isn't it?
Yeah, but they don't. I don't think they own Nintendo's.
No, they just have the license.
Difficult with their property. Yeah, so they don't own it. They wouldn't have even. Nintendo will probably handle themselves very similar to Toho, where they have final say on everything.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yep.
Especially after the 90s movie. They did not like the blowback after that one. So they will micromanage everything and make sure it's on brand and not, cyberpunk, which was the case with that movie.
I think Lionsgate will do a nice job with the Wick property going forward. I think
they're doing a TV spin-off series too. Two of them.
Yeah, two. Well, there's one. Are you talking about John Wick? No, there's one spin-off series, The Continental,
Continental and
and then
Ballerina.
there's a movie. That's a movie.
Oh, is it a movie?
Yeah, Ballerina's a movie.
For
with
whatever
Ana de
reason,
Armas.
it's my fault. For whatever reason, I thought that was actually another series. So that's good.
Well,
that's even better news.
I'm fairly certain it's a movie.
believe
Double
you.
check, but I'm fairly certain it's a movie.
I believe you.
Wallace Franks has been a member for 18 months, so thank you so much. And Rob Altis has been a member for 22 months. Thank you so much. Larry Quadowitz, member for 19 months, support level 2. Says, hello, panel. Paulie should pull up another pronunciation quiz at some point today.
Oh, that'd be great.
Very, very funny.
That'd be great.
Thank you. Sorry, I did this twice. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I'm a bit confused with everything else.
Sorry.
But yeah, all right. Cheers. Anyway, I'm like reading that shit. What the fuck? Anyway, we've got a hilarious topic for our next one, ladies and gents. So if you want to join in at the end of each segment, we'll be covering the super chats, but obviously we're going to move on to our next topic now. But please do join in the conversation and support the channel. But this is gold. Ben Affleck has called James Gunn a complete liar.
Yeah,
like just out and out called him a liar. So there was all of these basically met with Ben yesterday precisely because he wants to direct and we want him to direct. We just have to find the right project. No, that's not actually the case, because in an interview with the Hollywood Reporter, Affleck was asked, so, and this is verbatim, so if DC came to you now and said, do you want to direct something? He responded, I would not direct something for James Gunn DC. Absolutely not. I have nothing against James Gunn. Nice guy. Sure, he's going to do a great job. I just wouldn't want to go in and direct in the way they're doing that. I'm not interested in that. Sorry, what? What?
Wow.
I mean, that's a slam dunk, isn't it?
Yeah.
That was some passive aggression right there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty bloody huge. And this is off the back end. James Gunn has come out and said a few times actually about Ben Affleck coming into the fold, basically. Like he even said it during his initial sort of panel. So he says, Affleck really wants to be a part of our architecture team, trying to bring things together, and he really wants to direct one of our projects, and we're looking forward to him doing that. I mean, that's like, but now it's just turned out no, like he doesn't want to do anything with you guys. And I think what's probably happened here, right, is they did have a meeting, right, and it was amicable, it was fine, and Ben Affleck was propositioned. He was like, oh, would you like to do this? And Ben Affleck was a consummate professional, was probably like, I'll think about it. And James Gunn went, yeah, we got him. Yeah. And then he's come out and gone, no, I don't want to fucking direct anything for them. What are you talking about? Or I can't see like how else would this have gone? Like, you don't.
I have a theory.
Go on then.
Ooh.
Ben Affleck is a huge Batman fan. He has his own Bat Cave, and his big concern taking on the role of Daredevil back in 2003. For those of you that don't recall, Ben Affleck was actually the second live-action Daredevil before the Netflix series. And his concern then was, could this impede with my future ability to play Batman? And only when he was convinced that no, it'll probably be fine, only then did he accept Daredevil. It was a really, really big deal to him to be Batman in Batman v Superman. He was one of the architects of that whole thing.
Yeah.
And the rumor that we heard, I don't know that this is true, but the rumor that we heard is that before James Gunn came aboard, but after Sastal took over, and he had his lieutenants, like I forgot their names right now, but those Michael DeLuca and Pam Abdi, that when the two of them were momentarily handling DC, this was when Henry Cavill came back and stuff like that, there were rumors that Ben Affleck was either in talks or had even signed on for a new Batman trilogy. He was there for the long term, because at that time, with The Rock and everything, the plan was to go a direction more action-oriented, but still Snyderverse using that cast and everything. And that's why you had Ben Affleck suddenly appear in Aquaman. He was no longer going to be dead in The Flash, because originally the whole point of The Flash was to get him and Henry Cavill out of it, but then that changed. Now he survived that movie because there was a future for him. And then James Gunn came aboard, and all of that was taken away from him. And then he's like, okay, fine, that's business, but I still love this. I want to be part of deciding the future direction of this. And then James Gunn is like, no, I'd love to have you direct, but you have to realize I'm the boss here, and we're going to do things my way. So if you want to direct, absolutely, but you'll be basically just pointing and the camera and shooting the movie I want you to shoot. And then they want to try to keep him happy so he doesn't abandon Warner altogether. Then we get all of these PR statements, which is like needed, like, oh yeah, everything is good, we're happy. And Affleck obviously doesn't feel that way. I think that he sees James Gunn as an interloper that came and took all of DC away from them and got in the way of him ever playing Batman again.
Yeah, okay. Interesting theory. Nick, we haven't heard from you for a little while. What's your input on this?
I'm not surprised. I mean, with the shit show that DC was for and has been for quite some time, and actors coming and going, they're in, they're out. Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. I'm sure Ben Affleck has no desire to take any part in any of this anymore. And that's about all I got to say about that.
Could you imagine you're Ben Affleck?
Paulie? Someone say my name?
No.
Oh.
Just you.
Sorry, brother.
No. Could you imagine being Ben Affleck and knowing that you were going to have an opportunity to, kind of drive the bus when it came to Batman and then having it stripped away from you? I can't imagine that. I mean, I've been deeply invested in projects before, and as Andre described, this literally was torn away from him. I would have. I mean, and he had bigger plans for what Batman was going to do. He had invested time into some development of some ideas around the character as well. I can't imagine that. So I think in Andre said they're probably trying to PR it back and forth in a way so that nobody gets too upset with each other. But do you think he's going to easily consider doing stuff for Warner Brothers? I mean, actors can hold grudges, man. They can. I mean, there's history there. Some of these people can get a little pissed and never work for somebody again. And the reverse is also true. Studios can get very mad at an actor and never have them back. So it's an interesting thing. But does it surprise me that Gunn would kind of put something out there, and does it surprise me Ben would fire back and say, F you? No, I'm not surprised. Ben's like one of those guys that pretty much be a straight shooter when he wants to be, and he did a good job.
Yeah, well, he's got a sort of storied history in Hollywood now. He can say what he wants when he wants. Paula, you look like you want to jump in there, jump in the fray. Come on.
Yeah. Let me just say, whatever with the James Gunn mamadas. Here's the story. I'm gonna do an intervention right now. Ben, get the hell away from J-Lo. Leave at once as fast as you can. Keep your sobriety, please. We need you to be sane and creative and productive. I have the tools, I have numbers, I have other sober brothers. If you need us, let us know. I'm totally serious. Even though I'm laughing.
She's kind of crazy, isn't she?
Here's the thing, right?
Good input on Batman there and James Gunn.
But it's really relevant, though.
It's actually very. I'm getting to it.
Come on,
yes, it's relevant.
Get to it.
God, you have some trust in me. Have some faith in me, Mr. Nate.
Sometimes.
I say this and it sounds ridiculous, right? What is Paulie talking about? Every time he's hooked up with J-Lo, you've seen his projects his creativity, what he's doing go down the tubes. All right. And then you see him return to the sauce. I know this just from my own personal experience as far as dealing with sobriety. All right. Now he was all set. He was all set last year. He's showing up on set. He was getting ready. You've heard these rumors before, maybe even doing something with Rodriguez and Batman. Gets back with J-Lo, nada. And
I've
now
heard
it's the
this
same.
too.
And now it's the same thing. So as ridiculous as that intervention sounded, right? I'm actually being serious as far as, Ben, if you're gonna be in a relationship, be in a healthy relationship, it affects your work, it affects your decisions. He's got a real good relationship with his ex-wife and the kids. I just feel that it goes back to a balance of being such a big name and being a real human being. And I don't feel that. It's not you talk about toxic, and that affects all his decisions. And I think that's really affected his decisions on being Batman.
I agree completely. I mean, I've heard the same thing too. Also, Tom had also heard from some Warner sources that even Matt Damon had told Ben Affleck that, dude, you need to get away from this chick. She's destroying you again, just like the last time. Because I think it's simple. Well, it's not simple, but it does look like, in a sense, we don't see the full craziness happen, but I do believe that Jennifer J-Lo is Ben Affleck's Amber Heard. That she has that same kind of cluster B personality disorder going on, which is obviously something that gave rise to the mythological succubus, the super attractive woman that sucks the life out of men.
And you got to remember who he's with before. Yeah, he was not in the best relationship with Ana de Armas before, and then they broke up. She fled town. She went to the other coast.
Wow.
And then she got, and then he got right back in the set, involved with J-Lo. These relationships matter. They can uplift a person, they can support a person, whether you're a man or a woman, and the projects that you pick and do and execute. It's all connected.
Absolutely, you're 100% right. I'll give you one example. The only reason while we have the movie RoboCop by director Paul Verhoeven today was that he took one look at the script, he threw it away, then it was his wife that picked it up again. She read it and said, "You know what? Read this one more time." No, you're stupid. No. I'm telling you, read it one more time, and really read it.
It's great.
And that's when, prompted by the wife, he said, "Okay, I see what you're going with there." Without her, he would never have done that movie.
And then we want to get in bigger toxic relationships. Had there been no KK in the relationship that Favreau still has to endure, Carano would still be around. That's all.
And who knows how much greater Frank Marshall would have been without being shackled by KK as well, or Steven Spielberg for that matter, because he was working with Frank Marshall.
Going back to Affleck,
both ways.
Yeah, Ben is Wayne. Ben is Batman. I mean, who didn't love him? And it's so great to see him, like you said. He's got a storied career. He's an Academy Award winner. He's a coveted director now. He's done some incredible films as a director, and as someone who's trying to maintain his sobriety, he's an inspiration. I'm a little biased. He's an inspiration, and I'm rooting for him. And so when I see something like this, it's like, yeah, okay, that's cool. You're given the absolutely not James Gunn, and maybe he's got personal reasons we don't know about, but I can't help but grit my teeth and be like, how much of this is J-Lo? How much of this is, come on, Ben. Come on now. We want you to do Batman. What the fuck? Sorry.
Well, I mean,
No, it's all right.
you say that about Affleck, but he is a multifaceted guy. He has produced whatever at every level, whether it be director, writer, or actor. Right? He's incredibly talented. But I would say that while he's a great Batman, he's an excellent Bruce Wayne. I still have yet to be disappointed by Bale's Batman in Wayne and Keaton's Batman in Wayne. So I mean, I don't mind there being a change in directions with Batman, and I know a lot of people are going to be mad at me, but I really do believe that Snyder got the casting right for modern times when it comes to these characters. I think Cavill was your Superman. I think Affleck was your Batman, and I think Godot, whatever you want to think about her, I think she was an excellent Wonder Woman, although not quite.
Yeah, they did well with it.
Yeah.
But this message is just for you guys in the private chat, by the way.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Anyway, Andre, I'm aware you need to dip out, good sir. So I'll use this opportunity just to step in and say cheerio, old chap. Although Andre's mic's off, so maybe he's dead.
Is he dead?
He's dead.
He's dead.
Everyone, Andre's dead. R.I.P. Sorry.
Andre's dead.
R.I.P. Andre.
R.I.P.
You're one of the.
He shall be missed.
Yeah, he's one of the best bosses I ever had.
Shall we light a candle? Can we light a candle for Andre?
My candle's right behind me. It's been
dearly departed.
I'll pour a drink out on my floor for you, Andre.
Yeah.
But anyway, I've got some super chats to get to whilst
okay.
So $5. Bender Hockey for 89 says the retro gamer in me would love to see a Contra movie with Schwarzenegger and Stallone. A final fight movie would be fun too. Yeah, I like Schwarzenegger and Stallone. More so Stallone these days. Yeah,
that would have been cool. No. Schwarzenegger and Stallone back in like '88.
I think nowadays not
Contra movie. Not today.
I don't want to watch like barely moving guys doing.
Yeah,
that.
like they're pushing each other in wheelchairs. Fighting aliens, and on their little walkers, and
Stallone's still sort of there.
I don't know.
Larry.
Did you see Samaritan?
Yeah, I saw Samaritan.
He slowed up a bit.
Yeah, he slowed up a bit, but he's all right.
And that's fine. I mean, people are complaining like he's not in Creed. I'm like, that might be a good thing.
Yeah, true.
I mean, boxing movie. It's time to move on.
Yeah, Larry became a member, so thank you so much. All members of the channel, please do become members. Support the channel a lot, but also you get benefits after Thursday's stream. There will be a members only stream, so join in, become a member. You'll find it all anyway linked in the community tab. I will post it there for members only. You'll see it. It will be there soon-ish on the YouTube channel. So yeah,
you too can be a member with benefits.
Exactly. Larry Quadro says, "Am I the only person who thinks it would be super weird for him to direct a Batman film but never play him again? Very strange, in my opinion." No, not so much. I think people. I mean, I don't think that's what he was set to do anyway. But I don't think that's too weird. I think I think people can I think he can differentiate that. I think I mean, we don't know. It's all speculation, but I don't find that too weird.
No, not at all. Fine. And he's got a movie coming out with Robert Rodriguez called Hypnotic, and I cannot wait. I know they did a screening at South by a few days ago, like 3 days ago. I'm gonna try to get some more info on it. But during that production, they did talk about They did them just like in the background talked about a potential Batman flick together.
Yeah.
But that was I reported on it. I think like last year, whenever it came out. Ah, man.
Nice. Mr. Esquire for $10 says she's the Joker to his Batman. He always looks miserable in photos. Yeah, he does actually. He does always. But that's the thing, right? I don't want to get too hopped up on this specific one. We've still got other things to talk about as well. But everyone is completely right. Is that there are people in your life that can lift you up and bring you down. There are radiators and there are drainers. There are people that radiate. A good phrase I learned, and I picked it up from a song. It was sampled out of something else. But you should always gravitate towards individuals that nourish you. You want someone that is nourishing. And that's multifaceted. It encompasses everything, but nourishment is what you want from people. Tom Working says Giggly.
Geely.
What?
Yeah, that
that is the movie
Really?
that destroyed Ben Affleck in the first time around. Another
with J-Lo.
J-Lo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Andre, you've resurrected. We were saying your farewells.
Oh yeah. No, I said I'll be back again.
You didn't say you were going.
He typed it.
Yeah, for
Did he?
fun.
Where?
Private chat.
Yeah.
That's what it's
Oh,
for.
God. Oh, I thought you said you got to drop out in 3 minutes.
No.
He said you got to drop out for 3 minutes.
No.
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
Fucking hell. God, Andre. I was going to say it. I was like, Andre, I'm aware you need to leave. Just dead air. None of you guys picked up on that. Don't act like it's obvious now. Oh, you typed it in the chat. God.
Sorry.
Oh, never mind. So you're not going, Andre?
No, I'm not going, but I do have to drop out again for 1 minute, but then I'll be back again.
All right,
Oh,
piss off then.
Adios.
Yeah, I really have to tell you, Giggly.
You have to drop out?
No.
Damn it.
Giggly or Jiggly was not a fun film.
Jiggly.
I didn't watch it. I heard it was pretty bad.
I
Though.
haven't seen it.
lot
Olaf
of people
Vanes for €2 says some of these women are the guy's kryptonite, right? Exactly. You want someone that nourishes you, not, kryptonites you.
Depletes you.
Completely right.
Yes.
But that goes for anything, ladies and gents. That's
Yep.
men, women, everything. That's just people in general.
Right, but in this case, right, you're talking about one of the most named celebs of Ben Affleck, and then
Of course. Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, when we're talking about this, I don't want it to hone in on just females that do it. I'm saying it's everyone that can do this because it is.
Oh.
It's men, women, everyone. That's all I was trying to differentiate there. I got to keep the sexist comments at bay. People think I'm sexist enough as it is. So
really,
mate. Honestly, people think I'm like a raging misogynist. I'm like, what?
Wait, you like women though, right?
Yeah.
whoa.
Well, that would be
Obviously.
why, wouldn't it?
I mean, culture. I'm not going to start in on you.
Please,
But
just one stream. Can we get through one stream where you don't like? pick them?
I think it's safe
What?
to say in Hollywood that there's toxic relationships of celebrities, both male and female, that aren't good for each other. So this is not just a one-sided affair.
Hey, yeah, some of them really shit the bed.
Way.
No,
Quite literally.
no, that's not a good example. Culture. You got to give an example of a dude. Jesus,
Dude looks like a lady.
this guy.
Paulus Plain says, Mr. H, please explain to us all the bodybuilding challenges of Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, Jason Momoa, and Gal Gadot. Hello, Andre, Critical Paulie.
Critical Paulie?
Well, I mean, the challenges are not the same as a normal person because they would have their meals prepped for them by a chef and packaged and delivered every single day. And so it's not really the same. All a movie star has to do is do what their trainer tells them to do and eat what their chef gives them and not anything else, which I know sounds like I'm watering down their hard efforts, but that is actually a large portion of it because to find time to meal prep is quite large. I do mine on a Sunday. I only meal prep my breakfast. That's all because I'm around the house anyway, so I meal prep my breakfast, but that's quite it's not a long time. I've got a rice cooker, so I cook rice every single day. But finding time to meal prep is a lot, especially if you're out and about. Like when I used to do 16-hour days, out in London when I used to work there, that was hell. Like that was awful finding time to do meal prep. And then finding time to work out was awful as well. So you got to find time to work out, and then you've got to find the motivation to do it. Not everyone, normal people don't have PTs. So they're doing it themselves. That's hard. You've got to find the internal motivation. So there is a lot of challenges, but they are minimized when you're a movie star significantly. Henry Cavill is one of the only ones that I would say doesn't really fall under that because he will regularly share videos of himself. Literally, I'm doing this. And he's out running regularly. He's doing all these things by himself. So he doesn't fall under that exactly, but it's still very similar. But the outside of that, the other elements of that is just the very hard work in general. Like it's quite grueling, but again, it wouldn't be as much because you minimize the psychological elements. Which,
well, what
fatigue
about
people.
their physique, their age, and their gender? How does that fall into it? Like, for instance, would it be easier for, say, Henry Cavill than for Jason Momoa? They are of like similar age, but which one of them can bulk easier? And how much more difficult is it for Ben Affleck, being a good decade older than the rest of them? To say nothing of Gal Gadot, who's not only a woman but a twig of a woman.
Yeah. Well, so that whether it's difficult or not would realistically fall under body types.
Yeah.
So you got to look at, like, are you a mesomorph? Are you an endomorph? Are you an ectomorph? So you have intrinsic
Xenomorph.
Yeah, exactly. You have intrinsic attributes, body types, which make it easier or more difficult in certain facets, right? So mesomorph are just muscular and ripped, really easy. And we've seen Henry Cavill through the years. Henry Cavill's not a mesomorph. He would fall under, I think it's, if I remember right, it's an endomorph. So
I think
he actually, I think it's a guess, but I think that's largely why he runs a lot, because he can put on fat quite easily, but he can also gain muscle, right? So that's what I would say he is. But because we've seen him, like he back in the day, he wasn't as ripped or as big as he was now, right? He was a little bit fluffy, we call it, where you have a lot of excess body fat. Jason Momoa has always been pretty lean and always been relatively muscular.
He's got a good heritage. I mean, it comes from where he's from.
Genetics, yeah. So that he probably falls under more of a mesomorph type. Ben Affleck will fall under more of a mesomorph type than you think. And the giveaway there is actually his bone structure. So your bones grow for multiple reasons, but he's quite a tall guy. He has large bones, so that denotes a higher element of growth hormone coursing through his veins, just naturally, and probably exogenously as well, along with testosterone. So all of those things will factor into it. But because his bone structure is so big, that would make it, the hormones related to his bone structure being as large as it is make it easier for him to gain muscle. But then you fight that battle because he's older as well. Gal Gadot would actually have found it quite easy to gain what she did gain because she'd never trained before. So she's completely fresh off the blocks. And anyone that hasn't trained at all, your first 6 months of training, you'll see the best results you've ever seen, no matter what age you are, in your entire life. And that's probably what she did. And that's what we saw. Hopefully that answers. Anyone else?
Yeah.
Panel? Any other?
I think that summed it up perfectly.
Good. Scroll down. We've got Tom Working Super Chat says they have a fleet of trainers, attenders, reminders. Exactly.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. So next topic is the first synopsis for Superman Legacy has been dropped. Can you believe what it is? You're waiting with bated breath. I know. James Gunn's Superman Legacy. Wow. What's the synopsis going to be? Well, Superman Legacy tells the story of Superman's journey to reconcile his Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing as Clark Kent of Smallville, Kansas. He is the embodiment of truth, justice, and the American way, guided by human kindness in a world that sees kindness as old-fashioned. And that, I mean, that's pretty much it, right?
I will give them massive kudos for using truth, justice, and the American way. That fills me with confidence. Now, of course, the next question is, what does he mean by the American way? Because there you have the opportunity for subversion. But still, I'm very pleasantly surprised by the inclusion of that so much. So that's kind of like the only thing that sticks with me.
Culture.
It's so hard for me to get excited for this project, but I could give a shit. Yeah, that synopsis really didn't inspire me to get stoked, for lack of a better term. I just
wishy-washy.
Yeah, very much so. And as much as as much as I agree with Andre on the truth, justice, and the American way aspect of it all,
the other stuff I don't like. It's reconciling his Kryptonian heritage as if he's like fighting an inner struggle with himself. It's like he's never really had that much.
No. In fact, all he was doing was trying to cope with the idea of helping the world. I mean, I mean, that's really his struggle: is how can I effectively help the world? I mean, that's a hell of a struggle. That's the weight of responsibility none of us could possibly imagine.
Maybe he's going to make it a coming of age film, but with Superman.
Oh, please! You're going to make me vomit. This is a character that I love. I mean, the original Superman film was spectacular, right? And we need the Boy Scout back, kids. We need that goodness personified. We need that again. It works. I don't care what anybody says. You can't do a Superman film that way. Baloney.
Yeah,
he's like the Captain America of DC.
But I mean, at the same time, you're right. I mean, the word choices around that synopsis are just
that reconciling. That irks me. I don't know why it irks me so much, but I'm like, oh, reconcile.
Well, at least he's not reconciling his whiteness.
You never know. He might in this. Might be like, I'm from Kansas.
They might throw that in there.
Well, Nick, what do you think about this then? I mean, as a synopsis, I think it sucks personally. I'm not interested in this at all. And I'm even more disinterested knowing that James Gunn is attached to direct it. And he wrote it. So it'll be full-blown Gunn. And I've liked what he's done a little bit. But to me, he's a bit of a Taika Waititi. Is that I liked his earlier stuff. And then he's got swept up in himself, and it's too much, I think. He was better when either he or someone else intervened on some of his stuff and toned it down a bit. But anyway, sorry, I interrupted.
Yeah,
Nick,
no, I would completely agree with that. I honestly was checked out when I found out Cavill was out. And I honestly have no interest in seeing this new iteration of Superman by James Gunn. He should have kept Cavill. Obviously didn't. He's moving forward with something else. I don't care. I really don't care about this new iteration of Superman. I'm just kind of like,
Paulie,
whatever.
What do you think about this synopsis?
Whatever. At this point, with anything, right? It's like, well, I'll just wait till it comes out, or you know, let's see the trailer, let's see some images, take it from there. But anyone can write anything, say anything, whatever, and then go back on it. We've seen that. So yeah, I would have liked to have seen Henry get another shot at it and then maybe move on.
It would have been good.
Yeah, that would have been poetic justice for him.
Justice.
Mm-hmm. You know, and the American way, poetic justice. In the American way.
I would have been much more excited if this was with Henry Cavill than with someone new. I have to admit that I have a very hard time getting over that recasting.
I can't picture anyone else, but I mean, maybe they'll cast someone and everyone goes, "Oh wow, yeah, of course, that's a great Superman." But who knows? I just don't see it. I don't know. We got some super chats, but Paulie, you want to address something? I see as well.
Oh yeah, someone said in the chat that we shouldn't be. What is it? Don't talk about working out and going to the gym. The panel hasn't been to the gym. Yeah, black belt here in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I work out every day. Just because you don't have the big muscles or I don't know what, it doesn't mean shit. So I'm for coming up on 53. I keep a very fit and healthy lifestyle. It's very important.
Paulie is lithe, I think they call it.
Yeah, yoga martial arts training, weight training, very lightweight training every day on some level for me. So there you go.
There you go.
For us older dudes.
Paulus Plain says, hello, Mr. H, hello, Andre. Sorry to Culture Casino, Paulie, Nick. No to critical.
Oh, okay. I was like
All
critical.
Right. I have no idea.
It's
But thank you. Great
Okay.
for the super chat. Thank you so much. And everyone, you want to support the channel, membership, super chats, good way of doing it. Oh, Andre, I know you're going to love this topic. Oh my God. Silent Hill. Return to Silent Hill will star Jeremy Irvine and Hannah Emily Anderson. Plot confirmed with filming to begin next month. I haven't even read this yet, so this is my first time, but I'm really looking forward to this. Jeremy Irvine and Hannah Emily Anderson will lead the horror reboot Return to Silent Hill. Filming is due to get underway next month in Germany and Eastern Europe on the project. That's an interesting location, but okay. And it will mark a return for the original Silent Hill director, Christoph Gans. Written by, what?
Gans, I think.
Gans, right. Well, written by Gans, Sandra Voan, who collaborated with Gans on Beauty and the Beast, and William Joseph Schneider. The movie is based on Silent Hill 2, so it's literally based on that, so that's good. The film will follow James, a man broken after being separated from his one true love, when a mysterious letter calls him back to Silent Hill in search of her. He finds a once recognizable town transformed by an unknown evil. Sounds very much like it should. As James descends deeper into the darkness, he encounters terrifying figures, both familiar and new, and begins to question his own sanity as he struggles to make sense of the reality and hold on long enough to save his lost love. What do you think, Andre? I think it sounds bloody great.
I can't wait for it. It sounds amazing. And for those that do not know, Mr. H and myself, actually, it was on your channel where we hosted like retrospective of Silent Hill of sorts. After I told you on stream that, in my opinion, the original Silent Hill by Christoph Gans is one of the most underrated horror movies ever been. And for anyone who said, "No, all video game movies suck," I always say no, consider Silent Hill. That one is fantastic, and it transcends the video game genre.
Yeah, I'm quite looking forward to this. I think this will be
So and the original director returns. It seems like to be a completely new story that doesn't really follow the previous one, although I would not be surprised if there's some link here or there. In fact, I hope so. I'm not familiar with the Silent Hill 2, the game, at all. I'm just looking forward to it as a movie from a really, really good French director who has made so many really cool films, like The Company of Wolves. That was him. I'm really looking forward to this. There's a couple of video games movie I look forward to. So it's obviously Sonic 3 and it's Streets of Rage from the filmmakers behind John Wick, no less. And then there's this one. This one can't come soon enough. I'm so looking forward to this. I mean, the first one it's such an atmospheric audio-visual feast. Such perfect integration between visuals, music, and I just love those movies which are just so immersive, where the visuals and the audio just draws you in. And I think this one is going to be like that again.
Well, there's a really good statement from the director here. So he says, Return to Silent Hill is a mythological love story about someone so deeply in love they're willing to go to hell to save someone. I'm delighted to have the wonderful talents of both Jeremy Irvine and Hannah Emily Anderson take us on this journey into a psychological horror world that I hope will both satisfy and surprise fans of Silent Hill. Great statement. We then also had the producer make some statements as well. It says, Christoph and I have been working closely with our partners at Konami as they update the video game to also create a version of Silent Hill for the theatrical audiences of today. You will still find the iconic monsters, but there will also be new designs. We are confident that this new film and Konami's updated game together will propel the franchise forward for years to come. They're doing like a multifaceted launch, like it's coming across from well, I mean, they're doing a new game, and it looks like they're strategically placing this film to tie in with the game in some way or another. I think this sounds great. I'm quite excited for this. I think this will be really, really decent. Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. There were too many usages of the term modern there for my liking in that final statement. But other than that, based on the previous movie and the previous work of this director, that is what has me excited.
Well, there was actually no statement of modern, actually. So he just says theatrical audiences of today obviously alludes to modern. I know that.
Yeah, exactly. That just sent shivers down my spine.
It's only one. It's literally only one. So it's not bad. In fairness, as they go, that's pretty decent.
As
all these statements normally go.
Because at least
pretty good.
They did not use the term modern audiences.
Yeah.
I just heard like something that sounded synonymous, but it could be that I'm like battle scarred there. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's not that. I mean, he's literally to create a version of Silent Hill for the actual audience of today. I mean, I think the saving grace there is that it looks like they're trying to tie it in specifically with the game. That's what I would say. Culture, what do you think about this?
I'm only intrigued because you and Andre are. I mean, Andre and I talked about this the other day, and he kind of sold me on it because I did catch that little linguistical choice there in the verbiage, which always sends a shiver up my spine as well. You start referencing a modern audience in any way, no matter how cleverly you do it. It can be a little off-putting. But yeah, I mean, if they stick with the original property, it should be fine. And and I will always defer to you guys who are huge fans. So,
Nick, your thoughts, good sir. Oh no, Nick vanished. Paulie, your thoughts.
Nick's dead.
This is the first I'm hearing of this.
Nick's dead.
I even asked, in regards to Silent Hill, I even asked our resident horror expert, Romy, and she has never heard of it, but she's excited to see it.
I'll hook you up with the director-approved version of it. The one that you can get in the States on Blu-ray and that you get on streaming is a bunch of crap. Like the color timing and everything is all off.
So there's a director's cut we need to see, not anything else.
It's not a director's cut. Okay. There's a director's version with different color timing. The movie 100% identical, but the one you get in the States, it looks wrong. I don't know exactly why, but like with the Sony Blu-ray, like it's like the colors are washed out, not strong enough, not vibrant enough. But there's a transfer of the movie that the director personally approved, saying like basically this is the exact grading that he wanted.
Yeah. Nick's back.
Put me up on the private chat, Andre.
Yeah, I'll get up with
it. So yeah, I played the original Silent Hill game on the PS1 back in 99 when it came out, and it was an awesome game. I loved that game. It was one of the better survival horror games that was out at that time. So I'm looking forward to this movie, but I just hope they don't, pull a Druckmann and go from the game to the movie and turn it into a woke disaster like they did with the second iteration of The Last of Us. Instead of coming out with a game, and going there, they do it in the movie. As long as they stick to the original main story and don't try to make it for modern audiences, like Andre was saying, was that they might have alluded to maybe a little bit there. Yeah, I think it'll be fine. It's a great story, so.
Okay, cool. Excelente. So last topic of the day, ladies and gentlemen, coming off the back end of an Oscar win, Del Toro is making a Frankenstein movie. So we got Oscar Isaacs, Andrew Garfield, and Mia Goth, top choices to star in Del Toro's Frankenstein at Netflix. Mia Goth once again proving that she is, I guess, the horror queen at this point in time, for now, anyway. Yeah. So, I mean, this is an exclusive to Deadline following his big animated feature Oscar win for Pinocchio on Sunday. Del Toro is getting closer to finding his next live-action film. So it'll be live action. Sources tell Deadline that Andrew Garfield, Oscar Isaacs, and Mia Goth are in early talks to star in Del Toro's Frankenstein at Netflix. Del Toro will write and direct the pick. I like that. I like the fact that he will be the director. Insiders close to the pick caution that Del Toro is still working on the script and no formal offers have been given to any actors. But sources add that he has met with all three and each is on board to star. Who wouldn't be on board to star in a Del Toro project? That in name alone, has its weight. People will want to do it because it's him. Netflix declined to comment, of course. Del Toro has been developing the Frankenstein project for some time and long has wanted to make a movie centered on the iconic Mary Shelley story. We don't know if it's a period piece or modern times. I'd imagine with Del Toro, it could just be its sort of own Elseworlds thing, like setting like just a nondescript timeline like he does for some things. I'm looking forward to this if it happens. I think this is decent, and I like the ensemble cast that they've got. Nice to see Andrew Garfield getting more offers of pretty serious roles as well.
He's a good actor.
Yeah,
he's great.
Coming off of Spider-Man No Way Home, I'm not surprised though, because he was one of the contributing factors to that success. But I'm excited more so because Guillermo del Toro is going to be this up, and he's amazing. So
yeah.
Did they say who's going to actually play Frankenstein?
No. Well, that's the thing. Who out of them would you want to play Frankenstein?
None of them, personally.
Are we talking about the monster, or are we talking about...
Yeah, the monster, not the doctor.
Frankenstein's monster.
Frankenstein's
Frankenstein's
monster. Come on
monster.
now, get with it. Yeah, I don't know. And who would Mia Goth play? Because she's got quite the emoting face.
I would guess that she's going to be Dr. Frankenstein's long-suffering wife-to-be.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they're going to give her the crazy hair.
Well, that's the Bride of Frankenstein. That's different.
Yeah, but that's still the same character, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, did it end up being the same character?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
I don't know. I like the sound of this. I think
Either way, yeah.
I think Oscar Isaacs would probably be the Dr. Frankenstein.
I would think so.
Sort of fits that grizzled.
I don't think that they would have cast the monster just yet. And but still, I'll reserve my judgment until cameras are actually rolling on this, because the biggest indicator that the Guillermo del Toro movie is not happening is it being announced in the first place.
This is true.
Well,
this is true.
Okay, well, so let me quelch that a little bit, because this has been in talks, this iteration, for several months now. So this to me isn't new news. Maybe the fact that he's taught to now. What's new is Garfield and Goth coming on, but this has been on like a low key greenlit since the fall, and then with Oscar Isaac's name, they're already potentially as the doctor. So I don't know if that quelches it a little bit, Andre, because I think this is more of like, hey, he just won the Oscar. Maybe we got a couple sound bites. Also, maybe we saw him at a local eatery with some of these talents, and got the 411 that they were talking about Frankenstein. That's really possible this is where this is from.
I hope so. I hope you're right, but I've been so disappointed so many times before by so many of his projects that I wanted so badly, and everything looked set, and then like in the last hour,
sure,
it all fell apart.
I'm totally with you.
True.
I'm with you on that.
But he has an overall deal with Netflix, doesn't he? At the moment, like that's his house.
Correct.
That's where he's at the moment. So
Ooh.
they will want to mine him for stuff.
So,
You know
I
who?
could see this getting off the ground.
has anyone seen Pinocchio here?
Yeah. I thought it was great. Very charming.
I've
Yeah.
not seen it.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. It's really incredible, Nick. I think you'd dig it. And he had a great working relationship on this with Netflix, and this is Pinocchio and along with Frankenstein. These are like, you know, beloved characters he's grown up with. I would think that Frankenstein would be actually set in some really cool period back, you know, back at least 100 years ago. You know, that would just be sick. What else to say in regards to Andrew Garfield? You know, I don't know why people don't know his dramatic work. You know, forget Spider-Man. I mean, Hacksaw Ridge, Tick Tick Boom. This man is an incredible actor. So you know, so this cast is, and then you had, like you said, Mia Goth with X, and what was the other character? It's slipping away from me. It's the sequel to X, even though X came out afterwards. No, excuse me, X and Pearl. So it's the same world. It's the same world that Mia and her characters are in this universe. That is cemented her as like you said, the new horror queen.
Yeah.
Along with, I would say, Jenna Ortega with X, with Screams. You know, this is a good time. This is a good time. This is a great cast. Potential.
I just thought of who would be the perfect monster in this movie. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Andre might be able to help me out. But the guy from Iceland that played Sir Gregor in Game of Thrones.
Oh, the Mountain.
The Mountain.
Oh, Hathor.
Julius Bud.
I have to look it up here because I don't remember.
I don't think he would.
No?
Stature-wise, maybe, but I don't know. I'd like someone a bit more.
It actually needs to be someone of completely normal build, because how the hell would Dr. Frankenstein find several dead guys of the proportions of the Mountain?
Yeah.
I mean, good luck finding that. Half Tor Julius Björnsson is his name.
Ladies and gents, just as a quick one, please do join the memberships. I see Appion is having problems. There's actually just a link in the description box. It says to join memberships. You just click the link. So that's how you can become a member. There's a link in the description box if you want to join in a private members only stream after this stream. We have our closing topic, and we're going to breeze through this because we need to. But this is our recurring segment here on the stream, which I love. And this is Hispanic parents' pronunciations. Paulie. You're muted.
Well, because you guys demanded it, I got with my fearless associate producer of The Slant, Fletcher Williams. Big shout out to Fletcher. And he threw these at me. So here we go. These are Hispanic parents and how they pronounce modern, whether companies or businesses that you would go to. So go ahead, you guys, have at it. Let's go from, what do you want, from top to bottom, Nate?
Oh, well, I've shared this. I'm doing this. What?
You do it. I'm sorry. Go for it.
Oh, well, because you shared it to me, so I thought.
No, because I wanted you to control the images. But as far as like, who do you want to as far as?
Oh, I was just going to jump in. I was going to do it.
Ándale.
A Facebook.
Yeah.
Anyway, culture.
Facebook.
Oh, that was better.
Nice.
Paulie, you got to try it now.
Facebook.
Oh. Nick.
Facebook.
I like Nick's one.
Where did the K come from?
He's awesome. Nick is awesome. I'm telling you, Nick
K,
is like
did I throw a K in there?
Now we blind.
I said Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
No, he said it
okay.
right.
I thought.
Okay. Andre.
Facebook.
I love it, Andre.
You do it again, Andre.
At least just say it with like a Norwegian pronunciation. So yeah, it'll be what it'll be.
It's gold. It's gold. Love it.
Oh, that's very funny.
Oh, I sent you a whole
Right.
bunch of. I sent you a whole
I
bunch.
know, but I can't scroll through them, so I've got to.
Oh,
steal
gotcha,
my
gotcha.
fucking messages otherwise, so I've got to.
Well, I just didn't know how to do it here. You know.
Mm.
Okay, here we go. Here's another one.
Jolsel. Gold Star member.
Wow, you were sounding low key Asian for a second there. I don't know.
Oh, die. I dare you. Culture.
Costco, Joel Sale, Gold Star member.
Costco George Sale is Gold Star member.
Ah, well, of course you've got that one.
No, I should. You should
Baldy
I
has to
shouldn't
go
do these.
last, so the rest of us
I
don't
should
feel
go
like
last,
we're
yeah.
supposed to be.
Yeah, okay,
Okay.
all right, Nick. I love Nick's ones. They're the best.
Casco. Josel. Gold Star member.
I'm going to go with Costco Yourself, Gold Star member.
Nice.
Oh, that was
Wow.
good, Andre.
R as well
Ah.
as everything. Woo, Star.
Andre's like the original Theo, man.
Oh, God, it's fucking amazing.
The
Right.
original
Yeah.
Hispanic Viking.
Exactly. Oh, this is awesome.
Kellogg's cornflakes.
That was perfect. You asked me.
It's
Gotcha.
it's Kellogg's cornflakes.
Oh, that was great.
That was good.
Nick, we got to get Paul to go last. Nick.
Kellogg's cornflakes. I'm the retard of the panel here.
Wow. Wow.
Kellogg's Cornflakes.
There you go, Andre. Oh,
¿Qué quieres a comer, mijo? Yo quiero Kellogg's cornflakes.
Oh, you nailed it. Oh, God. We should have a supercut of Nick doing it. These are hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
I don't know if I can do this. Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
That was some great Indian in
I switch it up
wow.
every single time.
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Where's the
no.
CH in there?
No, you
It's
can't
an
do that
essay.
CH, man. No way.
Oh,
Chicken.
come on.
Try it
We're gonna have
again.
a repeat.
One
from you,
more
Andre.
time then. Kentucky Fried Chicken.
the Norwegians coming out. He's like that Norwegian that grew up in the barrio, and so every now and then the Norwegian
breaks.
comes out.
Oh,
Kentucky
so-
Fried Chicken.
oh, so funny. So if you want to watch us get cancelled every stream, join us.
This is
It's our recurring segment here on the Hcast. Oh God! Right, ladies and gents, for all members, 'cause we're going to round out the stream now. All members, head or patrons. So there's two ways: become a patron or a member. The community tab on the channel, you will find a members only community post with a link to a private members stream. Head there. I will be joining you shortly. However, everyone, what you got coming up? What's going on? Culture, what you doing? You know what Nick's doing? Chill stream.
That's true. I'm actually going to see Shazam 2 in less than an hour or so. And then I will be reviewing it and
Excellent.
uploading that the moment I get back to the house. So I'll give first thoughts. And believe me, I'm not concerned about spoilers because nobody's going to see this film.
No.
It's like 4 people in the theater I'm about to go to. So anyway, there you go.
Paulie, what you got coming up?
Well, I will be in your chat on the membership stream
Okay.
because I too have been a member long before
You
we
have,
started
remember.
HCast. And so I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to Mr. H hanging out with all of us. Later on tonight, I'm going to do a membership stream on the Slantino side. That'll be a lot of fun. But we didn't get to it. But as far as Mandalorian review, my review,
we didn't. Yeah,
my stunning review is up now, and it is it's a reenactment of based on true events and starring me. I do a reenactment of my experience watching Mandalorian season 3. That video is up now. It's pretty fun.
Lovely. Andre, we got coming up?
Yeah, we got a video dropping now, hopefully in the next few hours. Anyway, it's as soon as it's done editing. So either next few hours or early tomorrow. And then tomorrow, it's Midnight's Edge in the morning with special guests.
Excellent. And just one final super chat dropped in. Zack Attack, I think someone like Doug Jones would be a great Frankenstein's monster. I agree. I do agree, because
yes,
I think you did so much prosthetics work with him. You'd make him look absolutely epic. I mean, he is Del Toro's go-to. But that's it. Members, patrons, I will see you over in the... Oh, Nick, have you got a chill stream coming up?
No chill stream tonight. Me and Coach are going to do a video on Favreau and Filoni confirming that they're moving towards the sequel trilogy.
Wow.
Sexism and racism in Star Wars. There's an article that came out on that we're going to hit on. And then our Mandalorian reaction and review, which is quite hilarious and funny, is up on our channel as well.
Not as funny as mine.
I haven't seen yours yet, but our reaction is pretty funny for the episode.
I'm looking forward to it. I'll watch. Is that up already?
Yeah, it's up. Okay. We dropped it yesterday morning. We definitely got a lot of laughs out of it. And then our weekly Saturday night live stream at 7 Central this Saturday night, where we do pop-ins and let people from our members that are in chat come onto the show and voice their thoughts and opinions on topics that we're talking about.
Excellent. Well, from me and everyone else, thank you so much for joining me. Join us Tuesday for another HCast. It starts a little bit later. Set your notifications, all that good stuff. But from me and everyone else, thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.